starting. Here already?
Welcome to our North Lake to South Lake trip, finally. If you're wondering what we're doing at South Lake, well, we had to change our plans a little bit. This is now the South Lake to North Lake trip. We went to get our permit yesterday and all 12 spots for Piute Pass were filled in less than 10 minutes. So we were luckily able to get a permit for the reverse route. So here we are today. As you can see, South Lake has been filled up. It's no longer the little puddle it was during our Bishop trip, about a couple of months ago. Which I'm sure makes all the fishermen happy. We've arrived at Long Lake. Been enjoying some great flowers so far. Here's a really nice combination of this white flower, we're not sure what it is. Some pennyroyal, hasn't quite all the way opened yet. And a few Pride of the Mountains mixed in. Here's the white flowers. Pretty little yellow centers. I think that's Herd Peak up there. Just over 12,000 feet. We'll be going almost that high pretty soon when we hit Bishop Pass. Here's some Sierra Columbines. Some paintbrush, a couple of wallflowers. There's some slightly pink Sierra Columbines right there. Pretty rocks. And then a nice patch of the red heather. And Long Lake again. There's Bishop Pass ahead.
Is that it up there?
Somewhere.
Those craggy peaks over there.
That's Chocolate Peak up there. This is going to be probably our farewell shot to Long Lake. We've come around it finally and we're climbing higher. Here's one of the Timberline Tarns. The other one's just over that little hill right there. Our first clouds of today. And here's Saddlerock Lake. That's the Saddle Rock there out in the middle. Nice little footbridge right here. Don't have to cross the stream again. As you can see, the saddle is slightly underwater. Not quite a continuous land bridge today. Forget how tough that is, huh?
Whew. Yeah, it is.
They don't fall now.
11,972.
Very good.
Yep. Good boy, Bishop Pass. Doesn't look like you're at the top, though, does it? Well, those are the peaks in Dusy Basin, aren't they?
Uh-huh.
Oh, so pretty.
Down we go into Dusy Basin. I think that's Isosceles Peak there. Mount Agassiz. Okay, so I was wrong earlier about Isosceles Peak. That taller peak is Columbine Peak. Isosceles is kind of in the foreground of it. Coming around Mount Agassiz, I think we can see Thunderbolt Peak and Mount Winchell now. There's already a pretty active little stream over there too. There it is.
Wow. Very pretty. Okay, where's the trail now? Down here?
Straight ahead. Agassiz, Winchell, Thunderbolt, and North Palisade in the back. 14,242. And there's Isosceles, Columbine Peak, Knapsack Pass. And that lake down there is the one that we camped at about 3 or 4 years ago. Fatso alert. Oh, there he is. He's looking right at you. He's gonna jump out and pounce on Mom when she walks by. There he goes.
Out there in that grass?
Might be. This is where gentians like to grow, in the high alpine grasses, in these meandering streams. Now you can easily see Isosceles. The 4 big boys. We've arrived at our camp in Dusy Basin. This is the same camp I stayed at when I did the resupply for Cheryl and Adam. My great big tent barely fits in that spot. We were hoping to do a little exploring today, but the streams around here are a little bit big. It'd be hard for us to get across. Unfortunately, a lot of water means a lot of mosquitoes. That's why I set up the tent. As long as the wind blows, though, they tend to stay away. Got the big peaks up there. What a beautiful morning here in Dusy Basin. We're all packed up, about ready to head out. We had a little visitor come through camp just now. Pretty good sized marmot. Didn't bother us too much. Just chilling out.
Oh.
Can't stop for too long, the bugs get you.
Pretty flowers. Oh, I think I can follow this trail. So I'll head on it down. Okay?
We're beginning our descent into LeConte Canyon. Except this time, we're turning right. We're going up it instead of down it. Little stream coming down over there. Right next to the Citadel. A lot of wet, damp areas here. And wet and damp usually means lots of flowers. Got paintbrush, onions, leopard lilies. Probably a lot more too. There's a really nice leopard lily right here. Pretty spectacular cascade here. Just crossed the stream again, this time on the logs. Time for the second half of the descent to LeConte Canyon. Another nice view of the falls up there. Citadel looks much more impressive here. I'm going to be heading up this canyon here. Another big drop off. And there's the pool at the bottom. We've arrived on the John Muir Trail. We left the LeConte Ranger Station about 5 minutes ago. Now time for the uphill stretch today. We basically have to climb back up everything we just went down, but in a different place. We're now following the middle fork of the Kings River. little side creek coming in over here. It's coming in from this big canyon right here. I think we found some corn lilies. Lots of corn lilies. Should be just about coming to Little Piute Meadow now. River's pretty calm in here. That's Langau Peak. Just crossed a stream not too long ago. Probably being fed by this waterfall. Mom and I were discussing what those mountains are in the distance. It was my estimation that the high route goes through about here, and Gray Pass is somewhere on this ridge line coming towards us, not the high one. Which means that canyon back there is the South Fork of Cartridge Creek's canyon. Because I remember taking a shot looking straight up the canyon we're in now. We've hit the big wall. So now our trail takes a left turn. And goes up this way. Just had lunch at this multiple stream crossing. This is the third and biggest piece of it. Had a nice lunch of crackers and peanut butter and ready to head out. Just noticed this really nice bunch of shooting stars right here, right by the stream. There's our stream coming down right there. You can also see this falls from where we were eating. Gee, if we'd gone just a little further up the trail, we could have had lunch right next to the Kings River. Oh well. Our little lunch creek saw quite a series of cascades up there. Couldn't see them from where we were. Sure hope Mom got to see that. That's pretty. There's another waterfall coming in from the side. Trail's getting steeper now. And the views are getting good. Nice little cascade on the middle fork here. That looks like a good one up there. nice little meadow. My GPS says there's a place to camp just up ahead, so we'll be checking into that. We've arrived at our camp for today. This is a campsite marked on my GPS, so other people found it too. We have a few neighbors, haven't really seen anything from them yet. And to put us to sleep tonight, we have the middle fork of the Kings River. Getting a little smaller, losing some of its feeder streams as we're above them. Up this hill right here, Mom's tending the stove. We have a pretty nice little view up there too. A very pretty little waterfall. But that's not even the main river. Kings River goes up this way. That waterfall is coming out of a little string of lakes. But this is the main middle fork right here. A little hot?
A little bit. Oh, good.
At least the view's nice. Here's where the two streams come together. We're in the shade now, so you can look at the streams without glare. We're on our way this morning. To say farewell to our little camp and our pretty little waterfall. Looks like we're going to be crossing the middle fork a lot today. Well, we've already had our first adventure this morning. This is our first river crossing. It was a Tiva crossing, and it's still in the shade. Luckily the sun's out on the other side, so we were able to warm up a little bit. Flowers have been really great after we cross the stream. There's a nice combination of Pride of the Mountains and red heather together. Have a new flower for you to meet.
Oh, okay.
Meet the real white heather.
Oh, really? Huh. Interesting.
See those cute little white cups right there?
Yeah.
They're pretty small. See if I can get my finger in there. Yep. But they come in large quantities. Even in the shade there. Here you can kind of see the size difference. There's the white stuff and the red heather. Interesting how they're both called heather, even though the white one is so much smaller and so much different looking. Like I said, large quantities. I almost forgot, we've reached this big lake up here. I think I had it in mind we were going to camp here last night, but Mom couldn't go any further, so we stayed where we did. Some pretty waterfalls here too. One more heather combination shot. Another big cascade. Kind of goes into the shadow here. And just kind of disappears into the rocks. Here's our second stream crossing. I didn't need to take my boots off, but I had Mom change into her Tevas just for safety's sake, so she wouldn't get her boots wet again. Not sure if that's Mount Warlow or Mount Fisk. Crossings are getting a little easier now. I just had to take off my backpack and help Mom across. She kept hers on and her boots. This is the stream coming down from up there by Mount Warlow. That one. Kind of an interesting little tunnel under the trail right here. Don't know how that manages to hold up, but I guess it does. Look what we just spotted. We were hoping we'd see some sky pilots. There's our first one. On a barren hillside, right next to the river. A little unusual. Here's another crossing. This one was more difficult again because this is the main river. Right at the outlet of this big lake. According to my GPS, we're going to be crossing the inlet right over there too. Looks like some pretty precarious snow down there. Found a froggy. Saw some of these by our camp too. Yet another crossing. Started out pretty shallow over there. It got a little deeper on this side. These little green islands are loaded with shooting stars. Helen Lake is just up there, just downstream. Pretty cool little snow tunnel. Here's our first look at Helen Lake. Such a small part of it too. Views will get better as we go along, I'm sure. Looks like there's a spot to camp right there. Well, sadly, we're going to be saying goodbye to Helen Lake here pretty soon. Unless, of course, we can still see her from the trail. Well, there's Helen. What do you think, Mom?
Wow, biggest lake I've ever seen in the backcountry so far, but I guess I'm going to see some bigger ones, so it's beautiful though. Very nice.
All right, head on out.
Okay, I'll try. Find the trail.
A little further downhill. Oh, you're fine. You got it. Still a little snow around. It's the price we pay for coming so early. Snow, high water, but lots of flowers. That snow's no match for Super Moofer.
Yeah, right.
Another one.
Whee! Yeah.
Take a look behind me at Wanda.
Oh my gosh. They're growing big up here, Ma. Oh, that's your peninsula? Oh my.
And that one in the front is Lake McDermott.
Oh yeah? Oh.
And what do I see way out there? A mountain with some red on it.
That Red Mountain?
Might be.
Wow.
That's Black Giant Pass over there. Gateway to the Ionian Basin. There's where we're headed. That's the direction we came from. Basin over there is real pretty with all the snow patches. Can't quite see Helen Lake around the corner unless maybe I go over there. You can just barely see her. Look who decided to take shelter in the hut. Hey, cutie pie. If I can make a break for the door. That's the fireplace. It's been stuffed with rocks. What, do you want out or not? Okay, you want to stay here. A little plaque talking about the hut. Interesting ceiling. How it goes to a point like that. Whoa. Getting dizzy yet? And a lone window to the outside. Actually, there's a window on the door too, but
Wow.
definitely been no shortage of flowers on this trip, even on the desolate passes.
Yep.
I guess that is Red Mountain over there. It's about to go behind this bigger mountain. I never realized how big Lake McDermott was. Not as big as Helen, but pretty good sized. I can kind of see the hut from here. Is that a big lake or what?
Yes, it is. Beautiful.
Just keeps going.
What?
Just keeps going.
Yeah.
There's my peninsula right there. No, that's an island. The peninsula is more to the left.
Oh, see, that looks like a mighty big, tall peninsula.
Incredible, isn't it?
Beautiful. Yes, really fun. Turn the bugs again.
And we thought we left the bugs on the other side of the pass.
No, I
Huh?
guess not.
Oh well.
Follow the sun.
Even some shooting stars along the way too. Time for a little cross-country adventure. See if we can make it to Davis Lakes Pass. Different look from up here, huh?
Sure is.
Some lakes behind you too.
Oh.
Boy, that's a huge lake.
Oh gosh, that's really pretty. How many lakes are there?
There's a few.
Oh wow.
Watch my stuff.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, good.
Gosh. Wow. That's quite pretty.
Davis Lakes Basin.
Ooh.
Yep, that was quite an adventure going through this basin. Well, I wouldn't mind doing it again sometime, but preferably not alone. No. What a mess you had to crawl over to get here, huh?
Oh, yeah. I can't even imagine doing it with a backpack. Oh my gosh. Phew. Going down? Or?
Sure. Well, it's time to say farewell to Wanda Lake. What a wonderful treat to be here again. So now we're gonna hustle on down the trail and see where we can find a camp. Hopefully at least Sapphire Lake, probably not Evolution Lake. It's getting a little late for that, but we'll see. We're now descending into the rest of Evolution Basin. These two lakes here are not Sapphire Lake yet. It's a little further downstream. These are good sized lakes too. We made it down here to Sapphire Lake last night. Pretty tired, so we just cooked dinner and went to bed pretty quick. about 9 o'clock this morning now. Getting another late start, but it's okay because we don't have too far to go. Here's where we camped. Just about all packed up again. We slept right on the other side of these rocks. So after consulting the GPS last night, the peak in the dark there is Mount Huxley, and Mount Fisk is to the left of it. So down to Evolution Lake we go. Got another creek coming in. We're here at the creek crossing at the inlet to Evolution Lake. There's our wonderful stepping stone bridge. Here comes Evolution Lake. Kind of long and narrow. It's going to hook around the backside here too.
There's quite some impressive rocks up there.
And there's the rest of the lake, right around the corner.
Wow. Just keeps going and going.
Yep.
How blue it is. Oh, beautiful.
It's what you came here to see, huh?
That's right. Well, I didn't know what I was going to see, but it's sure pretty. Everything's just been beautiful. Wow.
Probably a good spot to see as much of the lake at one time as you can. Except of course that it goes around the corner down there. But you can see the hook part too. Here's the outlet of Evolution Lake. Goes over a pretty big cascade here. Can't see all of it from here, but hopefully we'll be able to see more from down below. Also get a pretty good view of where we're going. That's Evolution Valley down there. This big mountain here is the Hermit. Down the water goes.
I see a grassy ramp over there. Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe. This is what you have to cross to get over to Darwin Canyon. Looks like fun. Here's our stream crossing we just did. Definitely a Tiva crossing, but it felt good. This is coming out of the Darwin Canyon area. Pretty little meadow filled with onions and other various flowers. And there's the Hermit all by himself. Here's a nice big meadow. This looks like about where McClure Creek comes in. So someday if I go up there, I'll be looking to cross Evolution Creek right about here. So I found out from my GPS that that last meadow was Colby Meadow. That would make this McClure Meadow. Supposed to be a pretty good view of the Hermit from here. Probably at the other end. That's a pretty shot. Bugs are getting me. I can see the waterfall coming down from Evolution Lake up there too. Another big cascade coming in down there, or up there. Not sure where that's coming from. Wherever it's coming from though, it's got plenty of flow. Yes, we've hit Evolution Meadow, and it's loaded with lupin. What a nice surprise. We're actually taking a slightly alternate route right now, they suggest, when the water's higher, to a safer crossing.
Oh goodness. So much lupin. Very, very pretty. Ooh.
This is a nice detour.
I should say. They can detour us this way anytime. Look at that. Wow.
Here's the alternate crossing. Doing okay. About to get deeper and a little swifter. Don't let it knock you over.
Just keep going straight, huh?
Uh-huh.
That's cool! So where did you get out?
Right over here by the log.
Oh, okay. Oh, that feels good.
I'll say.
Ooh.
Tempted to jump all the way in that pool back on the other side.
Yeah, really.
And what's Moofer's reward for making it across this raging river?
Lupin!
Another huge patch of lupin in the meadow.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's even better than the one over there.
I'll say.
Wow.
Are you a happy camper?
Yes.
I think she likes this better than Wanda Lake. Here's the regular crossing. Looks a little bit swifter. Probably better that we did what we did. And it was more scenic too. waterfalls just keep coming. Looks like there's another one down there. Another big drop down there, but it looks like the trail's wandering away from that one. Here's our camp, our base camp for doing Martha Lake. It's a chilly morning and we're ready to head off. It's another noisy camp with the river right there. But I slept pretty good last night. This is one of the many little streams we've had to cross so far. It's been very scenic, but pretty much in the shade. Hopefully I'll get to shoot some of it on the way down. Nice good sized waterfall. There's an even bigger one downstream, but I'll try to shoot that on the way down. Another big waterfall. What you think, Mom?
Gorgeous. Spectacular.
Pretty special, huh?
Yeah, it is.
And boy, if you like waterfalls, this is the trail to climb up. Just over there is where I camped when I came here through here 3 years ago. That peak in the distance, I think, is Mount Reinstein, which is behind Martha Lake, so we're getting there. According to my GPS, that stream on the left is North Goddard Creek, merging with the rest of the South Fork of the San Joaquin River. That's the creek that comes out of the Davis Lakes Basin area, up that way. Come a long way already. Getting into the high meadows. Shortcut to Davis Lakes Basin is up this way, I think. Big open basin. We're getting there. We finally arrived at Martha Lake. Another big one. And looming overhead on this side, beautiful Mount Goddard.
Ooh-wee. Another biggie. Whew. And we made it up here without any broken bones or falling in the stream. Wow, so what's what here?
Well, I think that mountain over there is Mount Rhinestein.
The one there or over here?
The one in the back up there.
Well, you mean the one over here or
Yeah.
the one straight ahead?
No, the taller one.
Okay. Ooh, but the frogs, my gosh. It's like snow all over the ground. I don't know why they remind me of the desert.
This final stretch is just covered with this alpine phlox. That's what Mom was talking about. It looks like snow on the ground. What a way to welcome you to Martha Lake, huh? Well, did you have a good time here?
Yes. We had a great lunch of peanut butter and crackers and beautiful scenery.
Incredible mountains, an enormous lake,
Yep.
fringed with grass and some rocks.
And the phlox. Alpine phlox. This is gorgeous.
And perfect weather once again.
Yes. Not a cloud in the sky.
Just can't ask for much more than that up here.
You sure can.
And we can even see Red Mountain over there, I think.
Yep.
I'm guessing that's Red Mountain. It's red.
Makes sense.
Okay. Only 9 more miles back to camp.
And all downhill.
But pretty easy downhill.
Yeah, a lot of it. You know, really.
Look at that big canyon we get to drop into. That's the northern edge of Kings Canyon National Park down there. But not on a ridgeline, just at a river crossing.
Can you still see Red Mountain?
Just barely.
Just barely.
Bye-bye, Goddard. Nice to see you again. Where's the trail? Who cares? Just enjoy the scenery. Here's the baby South Fork of the San Joaquin River. This is about where we crossed on the way up and the way back down. We're out of the big rocks now, mostly. What you think?
Gorgeous.
Incredible, huh?
Sure is. Yeah. Everywhere you look, a beautiful scene. Oh, especially back there. Wow.
We're back on a semi-trail again.
Sort of.
Walking through these meadows that are just filled with these little shooting stars.
Wow, look at it.
A lot of the pink paintbrush too. There's a beautiful lupin patch. Walking through a field of asters now. Just one flower field after the other on this trail. Descending into the canyon. North Goddard Creek and the Davis Lakes are up there. This is where North Goddard Creek comes into the main river. I don't remember seeing that big waterfall on the way up today. Of course, it's pretty hidden by the trees. There's another little waterfall I think we missed on the way up. Certainly is a very scenic canyon. It has an upper section too. Here's waterfall number 2. Nicely lit up now. Here's this other one. Looks like a fun high dive. Didn't quite make it to this one in the sun.
Wow.
A few flowers to brighten up an otherwise dull trail.
Oh, I wouldn't call it dull.
Yeah, okay, it's not dull, but
Oh, look at that.
we're getting tired and we want dinner.
This is this smell?
It's only smell like onions. Nothing?
Smell like anything to me.
Oh, okay.
My nose just isn't working. So pretty. Wow. Look at all that is.
Waist deep in lupin.
Yes.
It's almost like Sky Harbor.
Almost. Oh gosh. Just gorgeous. Nothing prettier than purple. Ooh, that was a long way. But
Sure was. I love how they don't tell you any mileage on this sign.
Just Goddard Canyon. Go that way and see what you want.
Good luck.
Good stuff. Woo-wee. Yeah. I'm ready to be back.
Me too. Let's go get some dinner.
Sounds like a good idea. Home sweet home.
Yeah, our tent's still up.
Yay. The canisters are still there. You don't have to go fish and catch your own dinner.
So what was the total for today? 19 miles. That's pretty crazy.
Well, my watch says 12 hours and 2 minutes.
I got 12 hours flat.
Okay.
Another chilly morning down here in the depths of Goddard Canyon. But we've packed up and we're headed out. How are we ever going to cross this river? Like this. You like this river crossing?
No rocks. Oh man.
Evolution Creek is now merged with the San Joaquin River. That's why it's so big.
You're putting it on YouTube when you're done, right?
Yeah.
Pretty good patch of snow over there. Kind of surprising for this low of an altitude, about 8,200 feet. And there's a tiny little cascade coming down there in that dark section of the rock. Big cliffs though. And with that, the Kings Canyon stretch of the John Muir Trail is complete.
Ooh, good place.
Don't break the sign.
Good place. Wow.
Another nice bridge, huh?
Yeah.
Here's Piute Creek. That's what we're going to be following now, upstream. This is a really nasty trail. We just came to a nice little overlook though where the scenery's a little better. Heading up that way, slowly but surely. This is West Pinnacles Creek. The first really big stream crossing of today. Probably won't be our last. There's an East Pinnacles Creek too. After climbing high above Piute Creek for a while, we finally caught up with it again. That should be French Canyon straight ahead. That leads to Pine Creek Pass. Here's East Pinnacles Creek. This was a Tiva crossing just because it felt good to do so. We also ate our lunch here. We've reached the junction of French Canyon. We've crossed the first of several of these stream crossings of the creek that comes out of it. Here's the second one. This one wasn't too bad. There were tons of leopard lilies over there too. Kind of hard to see them all from here, but there were lots of them. There's some more. Here's number 3. Okay, Mom, let's see you do it. Running start. You'll run right across the water.
No.
Here's number 4. This one was a bit more challenging. I had to take her backpack across this one. And right next to it is number 5. Hopefully that's the last one. We arrived at our camp for tonight. Things were going pretty well here until the wind died down, then the mosquitoes came out like crazy. So we're going to try and throw the tent up real quick tonight and jump in and get away from them. We'll see how that goes. Some of those creeks we crossed today have to do with the pinnacles that are nearby. You can see these mountains in the distance. We wonder if they're them. Hopefully we'll get a better view of them tomorrow as we climb out of here. How's it feel to be on your last day, Mom?
Yay! Well, I'm sad to leave this beautiful country, but I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to sleep in my own bed again.
Yeah, enough of a little mattress pad.
Yeah. It's been gorgeous. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, you should see all the glaciers we can see from here. This ridgeline marks the boundary of Kings Canyon National Park. My map shows it's just dotted with glaciers. I can confirm that. This camp was pretty neat because we have little streams on either side of us, and the main Piute Creek down low quite a ways. It's like streams and surround sound. My map calls these the Mathis glaciers. And I believe in that basin up there is Saddle Lake. Of course, to get there, you gotta cross Piute Creek without a bridge. Bet you can see the pinnacles a little better now, too. Looks like an interesting place to go exploring sometime. That big mountain there at the corner of, or at the junction of Piute Canyon and French Canyon is called Pilot Knob. That's Piute Creek over there, coming out of Lower Golden Trout Lake. Which should be in that big basin over there. That's Lower Golden Trout Lake over there. And I believe the upper one is right about there. We're about to cross the outlet of the big Desolation Lake in Humphreys Basin. We're being treated to an incredible show of what we call the loudspeaker flowers. Like it, Mom?
Oh, beautiful.
There's big Mount Humphreys in the background. Our pass is right over there. Got about 400 more feet to climb. Here's the creek coming out of Desolation Lake. It's pretty good size as we expected. I crossed right about here, and I helped Mom across a little bit further upstream. These loudspeaker flowers tend to come in big bunches up here. On to the pass.
Stop with the red.
That's what I'm doing.
Wow. My gosh. Oh. That's Cute little waterfall right across the trail.
Somewhere up there, I believe, is Snow Tongue Pass. That's how the high route gets into Humphreys Basin. Might be that gap right there. Passing by Summit Lake. That means the summit is close. There it is. I didn't remember Summit Lake being so big. There's Muriel Peak up there. Down there where she is. You did a little extra.
Oh.
Uh-oh, she got herself into a trap. There you go. She's official now.
Clouds over there.
Yep, first time we've seen clouds in a long time.
I think they're HWMs.
Uh-oh, just when we thought we'd seen the last of the snow.
Come on. I'm not going out there without you.
I know.
Wow. That's a lot of snow.
Sure looks like it, yeah.
Wow. Melting like crazy.
So this is how these streams get started.
Yes. It being August 6th, and there's still all that snow there's still melting. Wow. Whoa.
Getting into some deep water there.
A little bit. Deeper than I thought. You can sure hear it.
Yeah. There's Piute Lake and Loch Laven way down there.
Puddle here, nothing?
First little puddle.
Oh, puddle number one. Oh, look at it all coming.
We reached Piute Lake. There's Emerson Mountain up there. We're at this little feeder stream where I pump some water. Starting to see a lot of flowers in these meadows. Of course, we've seen a lot coming down this far too. A lot of the loudspeaker flowers and pink paintbrush in this meadow.
that from
Coming to the home stretch. Still a bit of a stretch, but the home stretch. Look, a truck. Oh boy, a pit toilet.
Oh, what a trip, but I'm sure glad to be back.
I bet you are.
Woo, we survived.
We
We're
sure
still both walking.
Barely, but we're both still walking.
We still gotta walk back to the car.
Oh yeah, the fun's not over.
Oh, geez. Yes, I love the car. I'm so glad we're back.
Yeah, now it's over.
Kiss you. Thank you for being here. Woo. Okay, we're done.
Let's go get some burgers.
Yay!